Media. As consumers, we are bombarded by it at every turn, like the Incredible Hulk being bombarded by gamma rays. But what makes some media endure, while others are banished to the forgotten black hole of obscurity, never to be heard from again? Who or what decides this? Hetero life mates Steve and Yahel want to know, and they want to know now. This is Obscurity Now. And what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Obscurity Now, the show where we take a look at weird and almost forgotten pieces of media, and then we decide if they should be remembered for all of humankind or tossed into the black hole of obscurity, never to be heard from again. I am one of the hosts, Steve, and with me is the guy voted most likely to sell out his human friends to the Neo-Sapien Empire in high school. It's
Yahel, Z-list celebrity.
We're both there,
here,
buddy.
YouTube celebrity.
I mean, I was on reality TV, and no one even knows.
Oh, that's right. You're on a Netflix show. I forgot about that.
Now, don't anybody go.
What was your number? You were number
three on a show called 100 Humans. But speaking of 100 humans, many more than just 100 humans were probably destroyed by those dastardly Neo-Sapiens.
Like sandpaper, the smoothness of that segue.
What? I thought it was pretty smooth, if I do say so myself. Welcome, everybody. We are talking about the 1990 animated or cartoon, depending on how you like to say it, sci-fi show known as Exo Squad. What's your experience with Exo Squad there, Yahel?
I watched Exo Squad pretty religiously as a child. This is the kind of show that you want a child watching, you know? But I was like 12 or 13 when it came out, so I wasn't like that little. But yeah, I would get up like I think I had to get up like at 6:30 in the morning, so I got up earlier. Yeah. And I watched it religiously, but they only had one season that they aired. Folks, I'm coming in hot tonight.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so I only watched the first season because that's all that I remembered it aired back then. But all two seasons are on Peacock, so I've actually gone back and rewatched it, but I didn't finish it. I'm like halfway through season 2.
Well, I remember back when we lived together in Orlando, you kind of went through a Exo Squad, re-renaissance, if you want to call it that. I remember you went back and watched, I guess, all the episodes that were available back then, at least to download casually through perfectly legitimate internet means.
Yes.
And
yeah, I think we only were able to get season 1 back then as well, because I don't know if season 2 just didn't air or whatever. It's kind of hard to get information on Exo Squad. It's a little weird.
Yeah, it is weird, which is a shame because this is I'll save that statement for another time, but I mean, I'll just say, when I first watched it, I was like, this is amazing. The only thing that even came close to that, at least that level of, I guess, seriousness, was maybe X-Men when it came out. And this came out in 1993, and we are going to be talking about the pilot episode. So let's run the bumper and get right into it. Run the bumper. That sounds awful.
Welcome to your feature presentation.
Okay. I used to play bass for Run the Bumper.
Yeah, that sounds not...
No, that's awful. It's anyway. Basically, Exo Squad ran from 1993 to 1995, and there are 2 seasons, as Yahel said, that are available on Peacock, and they look fantastic. And the pilot, which we are going to be talking about, is titled Pirate Scourge: The Fall of the Human Empire, Part 1. Ooh, doesn't that just scream like kids show?
Oh, yeah. That's the kind of violent show you want your young child watching.
Why do you think that I don't know, maybe it's something in young boys or whatever. Like, why do you think we were drawn to like something so serious? I mean, I would say for me, first you got the robot suits, which the E-frames, which look amazing. And then
they look cool.
and then I mean, you've got a serialized story that's like super serious. There's no snarf in there or scrappy do. Like everyone's like really human. Like what drew you into Exo Squad?
I think I started watching it because it was space. So I would watch like anything that had anything to do with space, and I thought like the Neo Sapiens, I thought they were aliens from the commercials or whatever. And then you watch the show and you find out that they were created, and obviously there's like they're an analogy for racism, or slavery rather. But yeah, I don't. And then I watched the first episode. I was like, oh, this is good.
Yeah, worth waking up at 6 a.m. to watch. That's for sure. Back in the night.
And dude, I'm not a morning person now, let alone when I was fucking 13. So
yeah, yes, it's sad that like that's the one thing that I would get up early for. My parents would be like, time to get up for church, boy. And I'm like, no, must sleep. But time to get up for Exo Squad. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm there. Unfortunately,
we gotta go see your sick grandfather. He could go any day. Exo Squad though.
Yeah, they'll have it on at the house. Now, before we get
20-minute cartoon.
Yeah, before we get too much deeper, you'll see shots of like some of the Exo Squad toys. The big question here is, did you have any Exo Squad toys back in the day?
No, because I was already like, this came out in September, so a month before I turned 13, so I wasn't buying. I was too busy. I was too busy combing my newly growing mustache.
Oh, thank God you said mustache and not something else.
And also,
but I remember there was one kid who had a JT Marsh E-frame, obviously with the action figure as well, and it was awesome. And I don't even remember ever seeing them like on the shelves, and I don't know, it's possible that I could have been out of the action figure game at that point as well, but ironically enough, I have an entire box of E-frames right now. Tim from Tim's Toy Box, who likes to pay me in toys, he bought me a lot of E-frames, and I thought for sure it would be easy to find the action figures to place in those E-frames. It is not.
But it's not.
No.
Yeah.
So I want to sell them, but I need to go through and figure out who's who and what's worth what. But anyway, let's get.
Nobody cares about that, Steve.
Hey, I'm sure there are action figure aficionados who watch this show. At least I hope there are.
I'm just kidding. I would imagine though, that because like we were saying earlier, it's hard to find information on the show because it obviously wasn't super popular for whatever reason. So I would suspect that those toys are worth something.
Yeah. Well said. In fact.
Yeah, they have monetary value, Steve. Look into it.
Wow, you really brought my thoughts home there in the end.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of things nobody cares about, let's go ahead and jump into it.
What? Hey, a lot of people care. I'm actually in an Exo Squad fans Facebook group on Facebook.
Like an OnlyFans?
It's just for
Exo Squad?
I mean, there's no naked pictures of JT Marsh or Marcella. It's just
that's too bad.
Fans of the show, and there's a lot of...
Do the Neo Sapiens have genitals?
That's a good... Yeah, would they want them to be able to procreate on their own? Knowing humanity, no. They'd want to control that.
Right, because they were just all made in a lab. Man, you think the Neo Sapiens will? Why aren't they working on adding genitals to their bodies?
Wait, are you saying this because you want to have sex with a Neo Sapien? You sell out?
No, but I mean, you'd rather be able to have sex than not, right?
Yeah. So are you trying to say that the reason why the Neo Sapiens rebelled was not because they were enslaved, but because they didn't have the ability to have sex? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, well, and then there's they have female Neo Sapiens. So why do they exist if not? Why would humanity have made female ones, not made them all just the same?
That's a good point, because
non-gender.
It seems like in a lot of these types of shows, it seems they usually only go would do just one gender, right? But wow,
Right.
we're really going deep into this.
Am I blowing your E-frame out your
Blowing my E-frame. Oh my god.
the Exo Squad, like that's what the exoskeleton things are called, E-frames.
Yeah. We but
Yeah. So instead of blowing your mind, am I blowing your E-frame?
what's
Nice.
Oh man.
It's worse when I explain it. Anyway, so Steve, tell me about the Exo Squad.
All right. So as I said, this pilot episode, it premiered September 18th, 1993, and here's the synopsis for the episode. I mean, basically the synopsis for the show is the humanity created these. They colonized, what is it, Venus and Mars, a few other planets, but of course the atmosphere was too tough. So they built or they genetically engineered the Neo Sapiens to basically do all the hard work for them. They got mad about that and had a little rebellion. And when we joined them here,
they got mad about that, Steve. They were slaves, and you're like, they got mad about that.
They were mad about the work and the fact that they were created without genitals and couldn't have sex with one another, according to one Yahel Velasquez. And so, in order to, I guess, combat the rebellion, the humans, or humanity, as they are wont to do, they contacted Boeing, and Boeing created the E-frames.
Yep, that's how
and
it
that is the
happened.
name of their mech suits that they wear. And I meant to ask, like, prior to Exo Squad, like, what is your experience with mech-based anime, cartoons, animation shows, what have you?
At that point, none. But I just never been into like mech.
Oh, you were
stuff.
never a Voltron or Robotech guy?
I like Voltron. But that's pretty much the only one. It wasn't until way later I watched an anime called Code Geass, which it is like a mech anime, but it's not about the mechs. So that one was good. But yeah, what about you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I grew up on Voltron and then watched a bit of Robotech later and tried to get into Gundam when it was on like Cartoon Network. And it was good. It was just, I don't know. For whatever reason, I really couldn't. I mean, I liked it, but it just wasn't my favorite. But anyway.
Gotcha.
Here's the episode synopsis. After Exo Squad comes to the rescue of a freighter being attacked by Tethesian pirates, the General Assembly commissions Exo Squad to eliminate the Tethesian pirate menace once and for all. They wanted to get the Tethesian in there twice, so you know where they're from.
Yeah.
They really want that.
Yeah. It's a real double word score kind of word on script.
Do you want to impress people at a cocktail party? You start talking about Exo Squad, you mention those Tethesian pirates, and they're going to be like, Sir, are you a Harvard man? True story. Anyway, so unlike a lot of the other animated shows that we watched, this one had an actual bona fide director in Graham Morris, who appears to still be working. He directed Hulk, Agents of Smash, the 90s Fantastic Four animated show, and a guy you might be pretty familiar with by the name of Earthworm Jim. And our writers here, who are the real stars of the show, if you ask me, we've got Michael Edens. Yeah, he's still working. He worked on some of the shows we've already covered. He worked on Trolls with a Z. We got to cover that someday.
Oh my God.
The Street Fighter animated cartoon, the American one. G.I. Joe Extreme. Make sure you check out our G.I. Joe Extreme episode. RoboCop Alpha Commando. The 90s X-Men. Eric Lewald. Yeah, and that's it. And then the next guy is Eric Lewald, who also worked basically on the same stuff, plus a few classics. RoboCop Alpha Commando, Trolls, X-Men, Gargoyles, and Street Fighter once again. Which is funny because that Street Fighter cartoon is bad.
Yeah, it's not good.
No.
It's not good. But I mean, there's a lot of decent stuff that this person's done.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. I don't blame him. He probably just wanted a paycheck at the time. And then we have Jeff Segal, who was also the creator of Exo Squad.
Of Steven Seagal.
He's Steven Seagal's lesser-known brother. He worked on Smurfs, GoBots, Shirt Tales, and the new Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo show. I mean, I know that's probably your favorite out of that list.
Yeah, I love I'm more of a I'm more of a Paw Patrol man these days, but
I've seen way too many episodes for that to even be a joke. And finally,
I'm sorry.
this was produced by like Universal Studios, Cartoon Studios, which, I mean, at this point in the game, since they're scraping the bottom of the barrel for, you know, new IP or old IP to resurrect, I don't know why they haven't done this one yet, but more on that later.
Yeah.
Anyway, take it away with the cast there.
All right. So for the cast, we've got Robbie Benson, who does a few different voices. He's JT March, which is the leader of the oh my god, what's the name of their little troop? The Able Squad.
That's it.
But yeah, anyways, he's does Marsh. He also, I did a little bit of extra research off the IMDb. Because IMDb does not really like have a lot of information.
No, it doesn't.
Even per episode. But Robbie Benson also voiced Simbaka, the pirate leader.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I actually thought it was the guy that played Gowron that voiced him. Gowron from Star Trek. So I was like real excited, and then I looked it up and pissed.
You almost turned off the episode, didn't you?
No one from Star Trek is on.
Wow, that's crazy.
Anyway, yeah, very surprising. Anyways, Marsala is played by Gary Chalk. Marsala is the Neo-Sapien member of the group of Able Squad.
I feel like we've heard that name before, Gary Chalk, because I'm pretty sure I made fun of it. But anyway, continue.
I mean, Gary Chalk, let's see. I'll come back to him.
All right.
Anyways, we've got Lieutenant Nara Burns, who's played by Lisa Ann Belay.
Hulk Hogan's wife.
Yeah. No, not Belay. Belay. But no. Anyways, this dude that we were talking about before, though, Gary Chalk, he didn't do anything
really
that we've talked about.
All
before.
right. My mistake.
Yeah. Sorry. Anyways, then we've got Kaz Takagi, which is supposed to be kind of, I guess I should say the Nara Burns character is supposed to be kind of like a wide-eyed youth. Like, she's young. She joined the military, the Exo Squad, without her parents' approval. They didn't want her to. And she's worried about them because they live on Mars, or Venus, actually.
Right.
I'm sorry. So they live, and so we see her like doing things later on, like sending them like letters, like almost like hey, I might die because I'm going to war.
It's very Starship Troopers.
Perfect for 7-year-olds. Perfect for 7-year-olds. Right. Anyways, then we've got Kaz Takagi, voiced by Michael Benyer, which is supposed to be like he's also kind of like a wild guy because he's the youngest guy, the freshest recruit on the team. Field Sergeant Rita Torres is played by, I don't know, what's Janice Jod. It spells very strangely.
She's so fiery and in your face.
Yeah, and actually, I don't think Rita's in this episode.
No, she is. She shows up real briefly.
She is?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's spicy and badass, right. And that's pretty
like
much
every
her
female
character.
lead in TV and movies these days.
Yeah, we've got and then the other person from the team is Exo Trooper Wolf Bronsky.
Yes,
voiced by Michael Donovan. And Michael Donovan's like, he's done like a lot of other like voice stuff. Like he's right now the last thing he did was like Ninjago.
Oh, good for him.
So he's still working. Yeah. And he was like on every episode, it seems like. So
well, Bronsky is basically if you watch the original G.I. Joe cartoon, he's the bazooka of the group.
Yeah.
Like, and this kind of begs a question. All right, he's a little overweight. And I was like, if this is a military outfit, like, why is Bronsky allowed to like gain a few pounds and be a big slob? I just don't. I mean, even Bazooka was in better shape than him. But for whatever,
know, man, he must be real good. He's real good on the E stick and the E cramp, Steve.
Are you implying that one Officer Bronsky exchanged sexual favors for getting into the Able Squad? Is that what you're saying, Yahel Velasquez?
I don't know. That's.
I'm gonna go with it. Yeah. Why?
But anyways, that's pretty much the cast.
I think we're accidentally writing
some other reoccurring
Exo Squad fan fiction here.
Jeez, that's not good. I guess I should mention Walter Marsh. He's does Admiral Winfield, which is Admiral Winfield's character. I would describe him as the cool parent.
Yes. Yeah.
And that'll make more sense later,
well said.
I think, as you go into the plot, which why don't you take us through the episode?
Very smooth. Okay, so basically we start out with the opening. You don't really get to hear the theme song too well because there's some epic voiceover going over the epic music, basically telling you everything that you need to know for the plot that you're about to jump right into. But you need this for every episode because as we said before, this is a serialized show. So whatever, if you weren't familiar with the previous episodes, this catches you up just like that. And then we jump into the actual episode, and then there's a voiceover yet again explaining all the stuff that happened, just like in during the the song. And they basically say, as I said before, that the Neo-Sapiens were engineered by the humans to work in harsh climates, but then they rebelled, so the humans built the E-frames to fight against them. And then we back up, and what we're seeing is the captain of this freighter, and he's watching news clips. I mean, I guess he's been asleep in stasis this whole time and needed to get caught up on the last, 20 years of human Neo-Sapien, relations. But it's a good way of just catching the viewer up on all the stuff that's happened before, instead of doing a Star Wars crawl, right, which, what 7-year-old wants to read?
Yeah. And it seemed like the newscast was a newscast about the anniversary of some event.
Yes. Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
very true.
So
it would have been funny if they had the old spinning newspapers and, you know what I'm talking about. But
yeah.
But okay, so basically the captain, he's sitting at his command chair. For some reason, his second in command is watching a miniature hologram of a sexy dancer, which you want that in your kids' cartoon show for 7-year-olds.
The implication being that it's porn, kind of the way it's played off.
I was like,
and did you notice that the music for that it plays it was based off the Mario Brothers theme?
Oh no!
From the first level, it's do 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 do.
Or
from the not
second
the first
level,
but the castle. It's
that was the music she was dancing to. Oh my god! If you wanted to get a striptease, that's the music I would want for sure. So anyway, Captain leans back and relaxes and says they've got something like 3 weeks of autopilot. Nothing could possibly go wrong. And then an alarm goes off, and it says 2 unidentified ships are heading towards them. They are quickly shot at and boarded by the ship. We never see, who the invaders are. So cut to the Exo Squad members are running drills in their E-frames. JT Morris, the leader, says they didn't have permits to practice. They're practicing on, I guess you could say it's a historical area where there was the
Neo-Sapiens are in charge of that area.
Yes, exactly.
So, and they weren't authorized to just go flying in Neo-Sapien territory, basically.
So as they're practicing, basically these tanks come out of nowhere and start firing at them. And I love how they're just so nonchalant about it. They're like, we're just gonna slowly fly away. And it says JT says next time they're gonna be coming back for real. So cut to the Exo Carrier Resolute, which is basically a big, just exactly what it sounds, a massive mothership or aircraft.
Think Tiger's Claw from Wing Commander.
Yeah, I know exactly what that is. So the Exo Squad team lands. Captain Marcus and the rest of the fleet watch footage of that freighter ship from the beginning of the episode getting boarded by what ends up being space pirates. And I love how that they're pirates because they have the little skull and bones brandished right there.
Yeah.
That way exactly who they are. No need to be
exactly. No confusion here.
So the Exo Squad team enters a little bit late. The Admiral assigns the Exo Squad to securing the freighter ship. JT rallies the squad and assigns them different duties. Now the Exo, I don't think I missed anything important there. Basically, he just rallies everyone up, and they're like, "We're gonna go secure that freighter."
Well, actually, I think you did miss out the one thing where the commander is like, yelling at them about like, going joyriding.
Oh yeah, he's like the typical hard ass. You have to have,
but he's also like kind of a bumbling idiot.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you have to have that like authority figure in every '90s TV show, movie, and even wrestling.
Yeah, and then the admiral comes in, cool dad,
right,
and is like, because the commander's like, oh, who authorized this? And he comes in, well, I authorized it. And the admiral's obviously like everyone's boss. Right. So then the guy's like, oh, I'm really sorry. And then the admiral, when he's talking to JT about the mission later, he says, oh, and one more thing, no more unauthorized, like whatever. Right. He's like, wink, wink, you know.
Yeah, like
the cool dad.
The commander is like that guy who took over for Nick Fury in S.H.I.E.L.D. Remember the one everyone hated that he punched out at the end?
Yeah.
All right, anyway, the Exo team boards the freighter. They find the captain of the freighter dead. Like, I mean, they don't show the whole body. They just sort of show his, like, arm or whatever. But still, we got death here.
This is dead.
In the kid's cartoon. And if I want to take a minute, like, this is... In the 90s, like, I swear, it took animation so seriously. And I thought, like... Once we got to 2022, like everyone would know what we know. But oh no, this is America, and cartoons and animation is still for kids in 2022, sadly. But
it's getting more accepted. But
I mean, they still have never played any like, I don't know, that there was like a new Miyazaki movie. It was never even looked at for the Academy Awards. But that's a tangent, whatever. So they then find, let's see, they move the body, and it accidentally sets off like a booby trap.
Like it was booby trapped,
a detonator. It doesn't go off, but there's a voice on it that very clearly says detonation imminent. So they run away and jump in their ship. They try to fly away, but the Resolute has like sent reinforcements to help them. So they not only do they have to get away, they also have to deflect the reinforcements that were coming to help them.
Right.
Yeah. So they're just not making it easy for the Exo Squad here, the writers. So the freighter explodes, and it's actually a really good like cinematic explosion. I thought I just had to like put it here. So
we've got Smoke Monster here in the chat. Thanks for joining.
Yes.
Appreciate seeing you, buddy.
Welcome, Smoke Monster. So cut to the Earth Orbit General Assembly of the Homeworlds. I feel like that should have been an acronym or something.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful.
I mean, I had to like.
It reminds me though this scene of like the Senate in the Star Wars prequels.
Absolutely. In fact, I know for a fact that George Lucas blatantly ripped off Exo Squad. But anyway, a woman is filibustering about the pirates who took out the freighter. And then a sleazier guy comes up and he says, no to war. Don't you forget what happened in our last war. The leader of the Neo-Sapiens, who I wrote sounds a lot like Sideshow Bob, says that war is good. Let's kill those pirates. He
doesn't say war is good. He actually says the opposite of that. He says that, like, he understands. Like, it was Phaeton, right? This is Governor Phaeton, right? He's like, as a Neo-Sapien, we understand, like, the true horrors of war, blah, blah. So we wouldn't go into it lightly, but we need to go in.
But we got to kill some pirate scum.
But we got to kill it. We got to do it.
So once again, the Exo Squad gets deployed. You said her name earlier. I should have went back and added in. The female Exo lady sends a heartfelt...
Torres.
No, not Torres, the other one.
Nara Burns.
Yes, Nara Burns sends a heartfelt video message to her parents. I definitely got Starship Trooper vibes here. JT Marsh talks to Bronsky about his energies. What?
His injuries.
Yes, that's it.
He's
that's
hurt.
it.
His energies.
Yeah, yeah, that's a typo.
Hey, bro. So what do you think about this amethyst crystal, man? What does it do to your energy, bro?
JT Marsh is from California.
Wolf Gronsky, tell me, how does this what is patchouli doing for you?
Is Wolf like your spirit animal, bro?
Yeah.
Yes.
I like Duran Duran too.
That's the least hippie band you could have chosen.
No, because Hungry Like the Wolf. They had that song.
Wow, that's you got me. You got me.
It was a deep cut, and
I missed it.
After I cut you, there was nothing of substance inside.
Wow, damn. Now I've been cut. Stabbed in the back, more like it, by a Neo-Sapien sympathizer. Anyway, because Bronsky got injured during the whole freighter debacle. Now the squad are having dinner in their mess hall. Charles McKenna, who is a reporter that they actually referenced at the beginning of the episode, he just casually walks into the mess hall, which seems like it might be a bit of a stretch, but for the sake of the story, I'll buy it. He says he's looking for the trooper who set off the bomb in the freighter. And Marsh basically lectures him. He said that the soldier who did that was acting in their the best interests. So anyone would have done it, and tells the guy forget about it and to get out of my mess hall. Did I hit everything there, more or less?
Yeah, you did hit everything. But let me tell you what I want to hit. There's
Torres.
Nara. Anyways, we have Stadium Arts in the chat. He was talking about how oh shit, this looks familiar. He said, yes, dude. When you reminded me of this, I had been looking for it for decades. And then he also said, this is so sick. I'm already loving this episode, and I just got here. Well, thanks, Try. Very kind.
Yes, thank you. And Exo Squad.
A gnat almost just hit me.
Nobody cares about your gnats.
Oh man!
So now the entire Exo fleet, including their giant ship, are flying through an asteroid field, and the pirates, disguised as asteroids, attack the fleet. What do you think of that plan? As a guy who's really into space battles.
Yeah, they basically had little ships embedded in the asteroids or something. It wasn't like pirates dressed in asteroid costumes like Steve made it sound.
No, I think I spelled it out.
You said pirates disguised as asteroids.
Oh, did I? All right, pirate ships. Excuse me.
There you go. Now we're. Anyways, I don't know why you're being so semantic.
You're the one.
I know.
It's reminiscent of the train robbery in Briscoe County Jr. Pilot almost.
Yeah. No, I thought it was interesting. It was cool. Better than them just hiding behind an asteroid.
I agree completely. So kudos to the writers. All the other pirate ships then decloak. Am I using the proper space fighting terminology here?
Yes. Well, they said uncloaking, but in Star Trek it's decloaking because that's the proper word. It's like how Castellano is proper Spanish.
Trying to stick to the proper Starfleet nomenclature here. For you, good buddy.
I appreciate.
So the Admiral launches the E-frames, and the team enters the battle. A then awesome battle then ensues, but it ends with basically Bronsky getting separated from the rest of the team, and he just goes, "Where is everybody?" And then that's the end of the episode.
Pretty good. By the way, Smoke Monster had put in the chat that this sounds like a Babylon 5 plot, and this reminded me of Babylon 5.
It's a lot of things. I mean, you've got your Star Trek, your Babylon 5, Starship Troopers. I mean, it's sort of like a classic trope or whatever. Humanity dealing with their own sins in the form of whatever. Classic themes here. You probably trace it back to old Robert Heinlein, probably.
Yeah, because I mean, this show has everything from it's obviously tackling racism and slavery with the Neo-Sapiens and the whatever. It tackles the horrors of war, PTSD. People really die.
I
in
know,
this show.
It's crazy. Not just
for a kid show,
not just Morph, who then still comes back later.
Somehow.
Or the little girl from Ultra Force. Anyway.
I don't know if you remember, but this was actually marketed as the American anime.
Oh, yeah, I remember quite well. And that leads me to this question. What do you think of the human hairstyles in this show?
Dude, some of them are kind of like what some people are doing now with their hair. So, I mean, I don't think they're that far off. I mean, I've got the side of my head shaved like a moron. Like those are the kind of haircuts they have.
You've got your hair.
Just
It's
random.
just like Nora, basically. You just need the head sock, and you could cosplay as her. My God.
Exactly.
Hey, any of you guys in the chat want to buy some E-frames? I'm your guy. I mean, seriously, I've got a lot of them, and I need to get rid of them. No action figures, though, just E-frames. Let's see.
Stadium Art said that he used to watch the Battletech cartoon, and then a few years later he saw this, referring to Exo Squad, and it was a lot like it. And it's part of the reason I was so interested. Like Toxic Crusader meets Battletech meets Bucky O'Hare and Captain Power.
Wow, that's an interesting mix there. And Bucky O'Hare is definitely on our list, and Toxic Crusaders. Good references there. I don't know if we if you want to dive into Battletech at some point, Yahel, but we can. I have that Exo Squad comic that's in the Obscuritron right now. Just want to let you know that. Found it in a dollar bin. Paid $1.
Nice. By everyone's favorite comic book publisher, Topps.
Hey,
the people that make baseball cards.
They were, they were sort of hot for a minute there. They did the Mars Attacks comics and Jurassic Park when it first came out.
Okay.
But yeah, it died.
All right. Anyways, we digress. But Steve. The only other thing I guess I want to say before we get into whether it should be remembered or not, from what I remember, the pirates attacking the humans, it's because the Neo Sapiens were trying to trick them.
Oh wow, I don't remember that. Nice.
Yeah, it's like the Neo Sapiens set up fake attacks against the pirates, but the Neo Sapiens were really doing it, but they were making it look like humans did it.
That sounds familiar.
And that's why the pirates were being so aggressive. But yeah, the show is crazy. In terms of the fact that it's serialized and it's a kids cartoon and it's 1993.
And there's no comic relief, as we said, aside from
nope.
Bronsky, basically.
Bronsky,
He's the closest you get.
Yeah. And, people die, people betray each other. This is kids cartoons.
All right, let's
should we render the verdict?
Yeah, let's run some bumper here.
Question.
All right. Well, I think it's pretty obvious here, but Yahel Velasquez, should Exo Squad be remembered for all of human history, or tossed into the black hole of space along with those no-good Neo-Sapiens, never to be heard from again?
I would say this show should definitely be remembered. Like I said earlier, I started rewatching. It's free on Peacock, on the free version of Peacock. And I just kind of got busy and I forgot that I was only halfway through the second season, which is 36, 39 episodes or something. It's a pretty long season.
Yeah.
Second season. And yeah, it's great. The show goes in directions you wouldn't expect it to. And the writing is just really, really good. The only thing I would say is you better like the theme song, because you're going to hear it a lot, because that theme song gets used as the show's music, in the episode, throughout the episodes. But
that's true. I mean,
anyways,
it is a good theme song. And yes, as you were about to ask, of course, this show should not only be remembered, but celebrated. And I mean, I'd love to say it. I'd like to see it brought back, a movie. I mean, this just screams make a movie of me. But
yeah, this could easily work with very little changes.
Yeah, instead of wasting your time on Star Wars stuff that no one cares anymore. And I realize that this is owned by Universal and Star Wars is owned by Disney or whatever. It's I mean, this is what dudes in their late 30s, early 40s want to see. I know that. But who doesn't? I mean, Pacific Rim was a hit. And, so why not just piggyback off of that? Of course, now that's probably 10 years old, and make an Exo Squad movie. So, yeah, the final verdict is that Exo Squad should be remembered for all of human history. So, here we go. In accordance to Obscurity Now, the most important streaming YouTube podcast in all of the internet, you shall be remembered. Yes. Good show.
Good shit.
And happy ending for us. Not like all the humans who were killed in the Great Neo.
Like a very expensive massage. Happy ending for both of us. Stadium Arts in the chat. He did mention earlier that he would like to see an episode on Captain Power, which I think that's actually a great one to add.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's another like.
We'll add that to the list.
That's another one that was also taken pretty seriously, from what I understand. I barely remember it. I think that's another one that like came on at like 6:30 in the morning that I would just like catch the tail end of or something. But yeah, absolutely, we will add that one onto the list. So Yahel, inquiring minds want to know, when are we going to get another video from at Wrestling with Gaming?
Probably going to get 2 of them, probably back-to-back weeks, in about 3 weeks. Like, there'll be one that week, then another one the other week, probably.
You don't want to tell us what they're on or anything?
What? Nah.
How about telling us what you're on?
You ever heard of Kratom, sir?
This is the first time I've heard of it.
Steve, as you know, I had one of these earlier in our pre-show. I was like finishing one up. This is only the second one I've had all day, and I am like gone because it's Kratom stuff.
Wow.
Gone.
Well, I've never even seen those out here. I'll have to keep my eye out. It sounds like a good time.
Yeah, you're a good time.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Well, that's why we meet up every Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, yeah. Let's get this wrapped up. All
right. Well,
tell me about your project.
Thank you. Well, I actually just got done doing a 2-hour. Well, it's not live anymore, but it was a live stream yesterday. Being interviewed by the Two Real Geeks YouTube channel, talking about my experiences working in theme parks, because it's a theme park based YouTube channel. There'll be a link in the description for that. And I got the variant cover done for Escape to Earth, my comic book. And so I am all ready to launch on May 1st. So if you haven't signed up to be informed when the Kickstarter goes live, you can do that right now, or just wait until May 1st. And then I'm sure we'll let you know right here on Obscurity Now. Anything else there, Yahel? Before we sign off, this is the shortest episode ever.
I know.
But
yeah, it's just short and sweet, like.
Here we go.
You used to be when you were a child.
I'll have you know, I came out of the womb at 6'2". Thank you very much. I was never short. But I will say, if you're listening to this after the fact, please tell us your thoughts on Exo Squad in the comments section.
Comments. Yes, that's what they call it.
Yeah, or on our Twitter. And we will see you next week when we continue to unearth more obscure media only on Obscurity Now. We'll see you next week.
You've been enjoying Obscurity Now, a podcast that's recorded live to tape and streamed to Twitch and YouTube. Subscribe so you never miss an episode or hilarious quip. Take us with you by following the download links provided in the show notes to wherever you get podcasts. And take notice of our various social media links. If that's what you're into, I'm not here to judge. And make sure you join us live next week at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific as we continue to discuss more obscure media only on Obscurity Now. Up to